Welcome to another episode of The Marital Mission. I am your co-host, Shamika McDowell.
And I am your other co-host, LaRodrius McDowell.
And we are The Marital Mission.
And we back.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We're like a month late.
But we right on time.
Happy Black History Month.
Always.
So, how do you want to get started? How you feeling? We're back on the mic.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this for a while. I think there are times when you've wanted to do it. I've wanted to do it. We wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done it. But we're here. Yeah, a lot has changed since the last time that we got in front of the mic and we spoke to you all.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to touch on some of those things.
Yeah. Get you caught up. So this is the catch-up episode.
Catch-up episode.
Yes.
But first, for some small talk,
Mm-hmm.
I'm locking my hair again.
Yay.
You know, I regretted it. No, did I ever regret it? I don't think I ever regretted cutting my locks the first time. But there are times when I would think, like, how long would they be now?
Yeah.
But I don't regret cutting it because
it was a learning process.
Yeah, it was cool. And the first time that I actually locked my hair, yeah, it was definitely a learning process. I had just got into teaching and I had just gotten into stop spending money on haircuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that may have begun part of my frugal journey. I was like, I'm gonna cut my own hair. And I stopped cutting my hair. And it was part because the kids that I was working with, they would talk about each other all the time. And the hair was one of the main things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to let them know, hey, these naps curled too, you know, and I had to show them that I accepted my hair and I wasn't always brushing my hair or wearing a wave cap. You know what I'm saying? So that was part of it. I wanted them to see that process. And so I freeformed and I loved it. But this time, I don't know. I guess it's less of an agenda and more of just doing what I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's good for the children to break that conditioning that they have to have something. They have to have a certain look. I think this love and hip hop era and social media is, I think, making it 10 times worse for, just being a kid and accepting yourself.
Yeah.
Just as you are.
It's always been tough,
Yeah, that's why I said 10 times worse because, you're bombarded even more.
And shout out to Jay-Z. I definitely don't agree with him on everything, but I definitely appreciate the fact that he is navigating the spaces that he navigates with his hair like it is. And, he's showing people that, hey, you can be a billionaire, you can be black, you can, have money and have a certain level of success. And you don't necessarily have to conform completely or at all to look a certain way.
To be in certain spaces.
Exactly. And I rock with him for that.
I have never, and they're passing a law, right? Or they're trying to pass a law, I think here in Texas, where it's illegal to discriminate against hair. Because I think it was here that the young gentleman was asked to cut his hair, his locks.
Yeah.
In order to graduate.
Yeah,
I think it's just wild because, me, I've always, for the most part, probably, no, I won't say longer than I've had straight hair. Well, I've been natural more than I've been relaxed with my hair at this point.
Including those early years.
Yeah, at this point. So I've been more natural than relaxed. And when I hear these stories, I'm like, just my mind is blown because I don't know, because with it, you have to carry yourself in a certain way that shows that you're not about to be punked behind your hair. And I think I've always had that air, like, this is me, this is my hair. Either you rock with me in totality or not. And I'm going to feel it.
Definitely.
So I don't know. I had one person, and he was a client of my employer. And he said something once, because I went from, and my hair was still natural, or I think I had locks, and I cut him again. Mm-hmm. So I went from, long locks to short hair. And he was like, why did you do that? White guy.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at him like, why are we having this conversation?
Yeah.
That's not up for discussion.
Mm-hmm.
We can talk about this work, or you can get this work.
Straight up.
Straight like that. So after that look, it never on the table again.
Yeah.
So you got to let people know.
And shout out to Devon. She was one of my former coworkers. We kind of started our lock process around the same time, I believe. She ended up cutting hers, but she started growing hers back, a while ago. So she's into it. I think she has a mom natural now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I haven't had that success yet. Oh, yeah. Cynthia ain't.
Hi, Cynthia. I know she's listening.
Yeah. But yeah, man, it's good. And I appreciate you. You've been helping me out, greasing my scalp.
Yeah.
Twisting me up. Can I get you to do that? I need that.
I mean, you don't have to ask. You just say, babe, I need my hair greased. So
got you. Got you. On the mic, I got you. So, that was something that, have happened. Something else. We lost Kobe Bryant in 2020. This is still new, still fresh. Mm-hmm. Every year seems to, take out some of our beloved stars or, public figures. His was the biggest, I think, of 2020 so far. And
it was just in January. So far isn't saying much.
Yeah, it's not saying much, but it's always that first one that kind of kicks it off.
Yeah.
And I don't think I had been that impacted by a public figure's death since Nipsey.
Yeah.
And it was different with Kobe, though.
Yeah. I think the world stopped with Kobe's passing.
Yeah. Like Nipsey was personal to me because I had just started to follow him. Well, maybe a year or so. We ended up visiting the store and in California and all that stuff. And so Kobe was similar because, I used to hate Kobe. Mm-hmm. I think if you weren't a Los Angeles Lakers fan, you hated Kobe.
Yeah.
But I had began to appreciate him as a basketball player, I say probably about 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I think when they beat the Celtics without Shaq, I started to kind of give him his props. And then I started to actually like him as a person when I went after he retired, and to see the work that he was doing and how he was helping people and the love that he was showing for his wife and his daughters. Yeah. That definitely touched me. So I think that it's very important that, and you were the one who actually brought the news to me.
About his passing?
About his passing.
No. I remember vividly. I was doing my hair, and you were sitting on the couch. I heard you say, "What?" Really? And I said, "What is it?" Thinking, something completely not even on the spectrum of this. Yeah. And I came out and I looked at you and I was like, "What?" And then you told me the news. And I was like, "You're lying." Yeah. And that's when I rushed to my phone and I was like, "Nah, this isn't happening."
Yeah.
And forgive that airplanes were still in the area of the airport.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hear it, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they weren't able to hear it. The other one, it was much louder over there for some reason.
Much louder. Oh, my goodness.
And we're closer now. Right. They literally fly over us. So. Yeah. Yeah, so that, just the fact that, he was a family man. Mm-hmm. We went through a range of emotions, with the inaccurate reportings that were coming out.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
But rest in peace to him.
Yes,
and his daughter, and everybody else that was
absolutely
involved. And death is, I don't know, I guess it's never easy to deal with, but you find your ways. And those of you who are dealing with the loss of loved ones, definitely keeping you guys in prayer, because that's never easy.
But I was sick, and I was probably sick for like a week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if I know you, and I told you as much maybe the first few days, but I was like really like reeling from the passing, just in the manner it happened.
Yeah.
How sudden it was. He was just congratulating LeBron.
Yeah, for
passing him, and just the heartbreaking news of his daughter being with him. And of course, like another family pretty much decimated with, the mother, the father, and one of the children. So you have two other siblings without their family.
Yeah.
It just brought to mind how short and finite life is. And so I was feeling that, but what gave me peace, and I told you this, was that Kobe seemed in his retirement years much more mature than his age. Like, I felt like I was looking at a 50, 60-year-old man who's been living this post NBA life for a while. And I feel like although, of course, not being able to see the amazing things that Gianna would have gone on to do, how he would have been involved in his other daughters' lives, and, every project that he had going on, just being a husband. I'm sure he had so much more to do and offer this world. But he did so much. Like, I feel like that was a life well lived.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've talked about legacy before, and I know people would bring up, the allegations from before, but just what he did after that, you can't even, I don't care who you are, you can't help but respect how he's used the time that he was given.
Yeah. And I think that for me, that's what resonated most. The suddenness of his death really was tragic, but at the same time, what I draw most from Kobe is his work ethic, the fact that he dedicated himself to his craft. And it seemed as if after basketball, and I'm not saying that, he neglected his family during, those basketball years, but I definitely know there was a lot of time that he spent away from them that he, probably wished that he could have spent with them. But it seemed as if he had dedicated himself to be that same type of husband and father, post-retirement.
Right.
And so I saw, hey, he lived a great life. And so it just encouraged me to, hey, go hard, dedicate yourself to what you're doing and work so that if you are taken off this earth at any point in time, that the legacy you leave will be something that, your family could be proud of, that there are no regrets, and they feel like the time that you guys shared was meaningful.
Right.
And
you leave them with the memories.
And you leave them with the memory and money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, his family financially will be okay. And just think about, someone who, not even with the fame, but just somebody who has not prepared themselves or their families for that situation. And, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Especially in Black community when, the same 2-3 people are having to chip in trying to, get things done because...
Or you're turning to these crowdsourcing sites.
And so, just make sure that you're doing what you need to do. Put yourself in a position where you're not leaving your family in a tough spot.
Yeah.
So, Yeah.
So rest in peace to all those who lost their lives in that tragic accident.
Definitely.
All right.
All right. So let's dig a little bit deeper.
We're digging deeper, or we're lightening the mood?
We're going to dig deeper into what the marital mission has been up to.
Okay.
Thank you guys. You showed a lot of support. Mm-hmm. Our debt-free journey is over.
Yay.
We are finished.
We are finished.
No debt.
No debt.
Man.
Amen. Praise God.
Yeah.
Some tears, a lot of heartache.
Yes.
But perseverance as well.
Yep.
Dedication.
Dedication.
Budgeting.
Dedication.
We cut out some date nights.
Dedication.
All right.
That's for all my Nipsey fans out there. They get
all right. We heard you the first 2 times you said
I ain't gonna even front. When Nipsey say dedication like that, man, I love it.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
No doubt. Sacrifice. Yeah, definitely. Some long hours, some, hard talks, and yeah, it was well worth it.
Yeah. To be on the other side, I was telling somebody this yesterday, or was it yesterday? Yeah. Just to be on the other side of it, it just feels like it all was worth it in the end, because we got a clearer picture of where we are in this space, in this time in our lives. Mm-hmm. We're not 27, 28 anymore.
Yeah.
When we first got married. So, yeah, it was just... It was just getting reacquainted with how we view certain things. But
hold on. Excuse me. I apologize. I do mean to interrupt you, so I'm not going to say I don't. You saying those ages made me realize that in 2 years, it'll be 10 years that we've been married.
You're just now realizing that. Also, last month, we celebrated 8 years.
We celebrated 8 years, guys.
On Martin Luther King Day.
8 años.
So
it wasn't on MLK Day.
It wasn't. We got married on MLK Day, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
MLK Day is always Monday. We did not get married on Monday.
Oh.
The dates just kind of work out like that. Yeah. So we get a free day off around our anniversary. Shout out to you coming through.
That girl be thanking y'all.
The girl got knowledge.
Give us a little 3-day weekend every year.
Yeah, so we definitely celebrated. Thank you all who recommended steakhouses. Mm-hmm. We went with Papa's Brothers, and we were not disappointed.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No free advertisement though.
I mean, hey, they did their thing. Can't hate on them.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the debt-free journey, it started way before, I guess, like when we got married. And we were riding yesterday, remember? And you were asking me about this particular restaurant. You're like, is this where that restaurant is? And I was like, we went there together? Mm-hmm. And what did you say?
I don't know. What did I say?
You were like, that's the time when I told you how much I made.
Yeah. So before we got married, you say we were engaged. I don't know if we were engaged yet.
I don't know. I can't even,
I don't think we were engaged, but we were coming, we had got back together, mm-hmm. and you made it clear that you wanted me to be your wife.
Yes, I did.
And we were doing the long distance thing. So we could have been engaged at this point. Mm-hmm.
Maybe not.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think this was right before. And I came to visit, and we met at this particular restaurant. And it was this beginning of asking those hard questions to make sure that this marriage is what we want.
We were being intentional.
So we asked each other a series of questions over lunch, and one of those was, so how much money do you make?
Yep, you got to have those money talks early.
Yes. And what is your credit like?
Yep.
So we had that conversation.
We did. And so fast forward almost 10 years and just working, you know, and just kind of thinking about the future. I was like, something got to shake. And a friend of mine recommended a podcast to me about 2 months earlier. And I was like, I'll check it out. He's like, it's a black lady. So I was like, okay, seems cool. I'll check it out. And the episode that I listened to was her most recent at the time. And it was just very appealing to me. Like, I didn't expect to hear that. I remember her talking about, this was her last episode before going on a hiatus because she was having, I believe, her third child. And she said her abs separated. And
I don't know why this stuck out to you.
That just...
You say it every time. You told her that. So by the time you hear this...
Yeah.
Surprise, the secret's out. We'll just leave it at that. So...
Well, I mean, we could say it because this is going to drop after that. We were featured on Journey to Lunch podcast.
Yes, we were talking about our journey into being debt free and what our next plans are going to be.
Yeah. And that's really where the debt free journey began, in overdrive, because you were handling more of the finances and the paying down of the debt, those early years of the marriage. And I'd say around maybe March, April, May of 2018, my homeboy told me about Journey to Lunch podcast. And so I ended up finally checking it out, listened to it. I got intrigued by it, came home, told you about it. And then it just went from there. I just started listening to episodes like when I was in the shower, getting ready for work, on my commute. And then summertime came and it was like, I just couldn't get enough, because I think she was almost 100 episodes in at the time, maybe around 80, 90. And I just started going back, listening. And some episodes were more captivating and more appealing to me than others. And then spent off from there. I got hooked up with some other podcasts, found a debt-free calculator, or learned about the snowball method. There was just a lot that I learned, and I was sharing it with you. And around that time, we were considering purchasing a house here. And so I just started, because I was never really a credit person.
I know, and it frustrated me.
Yeah, I had I don't know if I told this on our podcast before, but I had a credit card, a dealer's charge card at 18. And I remember just maxing it out over my college years, just buying, polo stuff here and there for college parties. And I think I maxed it out at $1,800. And, I had a work study job, but I didn't have a job. And so my first job that I got after college, when I met you, I paid it off really quickly, and I just told them to close it because I didn't like being in debt.
Yeah, they're going to hear the story though. We want you to listen to
Did I tell that?
I think so.
There are some things that I didn't talk about though. Yeah. So you're going to listen to the episode. Hopefully you guys check it out. Yeah. One thing that I did not talk about though was side hustles. Side hustles really amped and ramped up our debt-free journey.
Yeah, you did your thing. I'm very proud of you.
And, so it's just when you put your energy and effort into something, it's going to manifest, right? Because it said faith without works is dead, and we believed that we were going to be debt-free. We had the goal of being debt-free before 2020. And there was times along the way, though, I ain't going to front, that I didn't know if it was going to happen. But, just keep putting it out there in the atmosphere. Keep talking about it. Like, I'm pretty sure people got tired of hearing me talk about me paying down debt.
I got tired of hearing you talk about paying down debt.
Coworkers, friends, strangers, like I was talking about finances. I'm putting people up on podcasts. I'm telling people books, that I've read. And there was a shift in the journey where you got on board. Because, man, there was this one time I was so ready to give up. I was so frustrated. It was around the time we took our vacation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think you were just like telling me you just had no thoughts of paying down like debt. You was like, there's nowhere near what I'm thinking about right now. And I was so discouraged. And my brother talked to me and he encouraged me that, hey, if this is something that you want, that you have to do it. You can't depend on, Shamika. And there was a light bulb like, you know what, you're right. And so I just knew that I had to be 10 toes down in it. And, over time, I saw you being more and more supportive, even though you were always supportive. You never went against me, what I was trying to do, but I didn't always feel the support that I was looking for.
Yeah, it was your approach.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
And so, when I get gung-ho about something,
mm-hmm, you expect me to be all in too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
I had to politely remind you, hey, I like fantasy movies. I don't expect you to watch every single one of them with me.
True.
So.
True.
Yeah. But here we are.
Yeah. And, but I did want to say that there's something I really did not stress. And side hustles, for those of you who may not know, just means picking up extra jobs or work where you can get paid outside of your
everyday
main, jobs, paycheck or salary. And so I would pick up hours for tutoring, coaching basketball at the school. And then I would work summers, of course, at the rec center. And then I ended up getting a part-time job after school started again. And really, I was just going for this one job that I thought I would be able to do because of, time and conflict of schedule. And then when I got there and I was applying for that job, I heard somebody say something about being flexible with this other job that would pay more money. And I was like, wait a minute, you could be flexible with the time? And the person was like, yeah. So I was like, hey, I want to do that. And, that really was a blessing. So, you definitely have to sacrifice. We sacrifice our time. That was something that I prioritized really early in the marriage, that I wanted to make sure that like work did not come in between the time for you and I to learn each other. And,
but and we had a whole episode on it.
Yeah. And so now that we are out of that romantic stage of our marriage, right, where it's just getting to know each other or, that early on, now I think we're more into that mature or entering into that mature stage of love. I'm like, okay, well, we know where we are in this thing. We know our shortcomings. We know, those things. So now I felt like, okay, I can step away and, kind of do something that'll be more beneficial in the future as opposed to us spending that time together now. And you were like, that's fine. Like, you value your alone time, as do I. And so it allows for us, kind of have that time apart. So when we are together, we maximize on that.
Right.
So.
And the only reason why I didn't help out is because my primary gig is on call, and I'm on call for most of it. So anything can pop off.
But, you doing your thing every day, you get those raises. Yeah. And promotions, and you just got a new job. Yeah. In the same company, but, you do your thing and you bringing in, a nice amount of that which allows us to pay down that debt. So it's a team thing, So yeah, guys, try to make sure that you're upping your income. Also make sure that you're paying down. That you're lowering your expenses.
Oh, yeah.
So when we started this marital mission, we were in Houston in our 3-bed, 2.5-bath house, 2-car garage. And now recording this episode, which is the first episode recording in this space, we're in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment.
Yeah.
Right. And so
major shift, especially for me.
And it was, I will say it was gradual.
Yeah.
Right. We didn't just jump from one to the other. When we made the relocation from Houston to Dallas, we were in a pretty nice sized 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Had a water view.
Yeah.
It was pretty quiet too.
It was very quiet.
Very quiet. So it was nice. Right. And then we made somewhat of a downsize, but not really. More noisy, more busy area, more in the city. But we were paying less. And then,
we got rid of some stuff.
Man, like we got rid of some stuff when we got rid of the house or when we relocated. Right. And then we got rid of more stuff. And so it's just kind of like a gradual downsize. And this was a big one.
Yeah.
And you didn't initially want to do it.
Yeah.
But I love you because you allowed me to run point. And when we got into space, like I was even kind of shocked at how comfortable it is.
Yeah. I was thinking about that maybe a couple of days ago. Like, I don't feel claustrophobic as I thought I would.
Yeah.
And it's actually nicer than our 2-bedroom that we had.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. It is. So, you have to be willing to give some things up. Right. And so we found places in our budget where we could cut, and, we found areas where we could make more money, and you have to dedicate yourself to that. And when you do that,
keeping the end in mind.
Definitely. But you can't cut so much fat off the bone where you lose all your flavor. Yeah. And so you're going to break your budget, because if you just try to live on beef jerky, Roman noodles, and Spam.
What is it?
Beef jerky, ramen noodles, and Spam.
We went from Roman to Raymond.
See, I was trying to mix it up. You know what I'm saying? But I was quoting Bun. I know some of my UGK followers, they got that. But yeah, you're gonna eventually go back to the things you love. So build yourself some space inside of your budget.
Oh yeah, it's just like with the diet, you don't want to live off of salads and water, because that gets old very quickly.
Yeah, so you're gonna find yourself at your favorite burger spot or a pizza spot,
giving up. So
yeah, so give yourself a slice every now and then.
Eat the cookie. It's not gonna hurt, but be mindful. You can't have the whole cake.
Yeah. So I know a lot of you guys were asking us to share about that, and that will be, and I know a lot of people say that, in the debt-free community, lower your expenses, up your income. And I'll tell you, the up your income one was probably the toughest for me, given the job that I have. I was just like, man, it sounds good if you're in the corporate world, you can do this and you can do that. But no, there are ways, there are ways that you can do it, that you can find ways to make more money.
Yeah.
If you want to.
Right.
And so now we're on the other side, and now it's more about investing and, for the future, and hopefully, not hopefully, but
speak it.
We're going to be real estate investors by year's end.
Yes.
And so definitely excited about that. So just as much as I educated myself on becoming debt free, I've been educating myself on real estate investing. And so I am so excited about the opportunities that's going to bring, the freedom that's going to bring, 15 years down the road when we're in our early 50s and we're retiring.
Lord, 15 years from now.
Yeah, actually, it's less for me. It's about 13.
Which means it's 14 for me.
Yeah. But we gonna hit 50 like, whoa.
Listen, 55, you need to have me retired.
Done.
Thank you. High five on that.
Give me a kiss.
Oh.
So we're gonna be out here in these streets retired at 55, salt and peppered up.
Speak for yourself.
You ain't gonna be salt. You ain't putting no dye in your head.
You don't know what I'm gonna do, and who are you to tell me what I'm gonna do?
Your husband.
Not my daddy, so.
Not your daddy, your husband.
You telling me if I want to put dye in this head, it's going to go in my hair, so.
You can put some white dye in there.
Okay.
We gonna be salt and pepper together.
Okay.
Ain't we?
Next topic.
We ain't gonna be salt and pepper together?
Eventually.
At 60? You gonna wait till 60?
I don't know.
We can't be 55 and salt and pepper. You know,
why are you pushing me to be salt and pepper at 55 is what I'm saying.
We already sprouting some
That don't
gray.
mean I'm going to be salt and peppered out.
Well, salt and peppered out.
My family, my mom is, 55, 56, and she's not.
I'm just saying we going to have some gray hair now.
Okay, well, say that.
Ooh, that's a touchy subject, guys. I did not know.
Try to age me.
You the one that be talking about you can't wait till I get gray in my hair. I'm going to be sexy. So now every time I see a dude with gray hair, gray and black hair, I'm looking upside his head, wondering if you looking at him.
Well, that's a personal thing. You need to get over that insecurity.
I know. You feed the beast. Nah, I'm joking, guys. I don't know. That took a whole left.
It really did. I don't know how we even got here.
But we here. And so I think that's, if you guys listen to our Journey to Lunch episode, that'll give you more details on our journey from, having debt, paying off debt. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Which
is, what else have we been up to?
Man, I don't know if we had an episode. We facilitated a session at the Love Remix Mocha Marriage retreat.
Yes, which is a couples retreat that isn't just, getting a whole bunch of information and tools for your marriage, but you actually have fun. So there's a big party at the end of it. They do a game night, I believe, before the actual sessions kick off. So like the night before, when you check in, it's a whole thing, guys. It's a whole weekend.
Yep.
So if you ever get a chance to attend, right now they're just having them in Texas, but they are looking to scale and expand. So if you follow them on social media, again, it's Mocha Marriage, and it is Love Remix.
The Love Remix.
Yeah, the Love Remix couples retreat. If you just do your Googles, you will find them. And two awesome couples doing literally the Lord's work.
Yep.
They hooked up. One, they do the training sessions, and the other side, they are focused on the fun.
Yeah, the event.
Yeah, the event planning.
We actually, I think we spoke about this on a previous episode because we actually attended the session last year, about a year ago, and it helped us to break some barriers in our marriage. We were not really communicating well, and so just so happened that particular retreat, the topic was communication. And so we took home some tools and we used them and we applied them to our lives, and it has blessed us. And we've been able to bless other couples by sharing some of the things we learned. And so they kind of saw what our platform and what we were doing and our vision reached out to us, and we were able to work together to, facilitate. Yeah. So we did it last year in September. And this was our second time doing it in Dallas.
Yes.
And so wonderful event, had fun, learned some things, saw some breakthroughs in couples.
I mean, there is no greater feeling than seeing couples who came in feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Their demeanor is a certain way, but seeing them hugging each other, giving kisses, putting their heads on shoulders and crying during, the activities. Men and women. I mean, just, you see those walls coming down and you see burdens lifted, and they really did leave just lighter and holding hands and smiling. And I mean, there is no greater feeling. So much so that one of the young photographers, he came alongside of me and he was like, "This event is awesome." He said, "So many people need this. And I just want to go up to everybody and tell them how proud I am of them." And I was like, wow, that's like a major compliment.
Yeah.
So that's just a testament to the vision that the Mocha Marriage and the Love Remix that they have, that is really coming into fruition. So hopefully, if people aren't attending Love Remix, that there is something else in your area or your city that you can attend and have the same breakthroughs.
Yeah.
Because we highly recommend couples retreats. We've attended them even before this.
Yeah. And even, I know the vision that was spoken to us was even just normalizing therapy.
Oh, yeah.
In your marriage or in your relationship. And that can come many different ways. So just make sure that you are connecting with other people that are doing the work. I think it's easy to forget that you're not the only one going through this. And then one gentleman even said as much. He said, "I didn't realize that I wasn't alone." Yeah. In this area. He was like, you hear it. He was like, but actually seeing it and hearing other people in this room. Yeah. Like really opened my eyes. So having conversations with people and one gentleman, he spoke, you're going through stuff. He was like, but to know that it's other people out there that's going through way worse. Oh yeah. Than you are, it puts things in perspective. And it gives you that extra, it gave us that extra motivation. Like, okay, we can keep pushing. Yeah. When you're in a room full of people and everybody have their own issues, you're like, other people go through things, but in this day and age where social media or just media, everybody's posting their highlights and they're not showing their downfalls. Yep. Yep. And there are a few platforms out there now that kind of highlight those issues in marriage and documentaries and those things, and shout out to them. Everybody's who's doing work in this space of promoting healthy marriages, healthy Black relationships. Shout out to y'all. Yeah. It's not easy because if you're married yourself, you go through things. Right. One of the reasons that, we haven't been in front of the mic is because we've been dealing with our own things. Yeah. And when we get in front of this mic and we speak to you guys, we want it to be as authentic as possible. And, we share our successes, we share our failures, but there are times when, us sitting in front of this mic and talking is not going to be good for anybody. Right. So, we do our work ourselves, and, not to excuse the time that we have, been away, but some of that time was us really just doing our own work. Right. Taking our own advice. Definitely. Yeah. So that has been, I was much more comfortable with it this time, facilitating. You did your thing, baby. Thank you. Thank you. I needed you too. I know. He was running off of 3.5 hours of sleep and fumes, I tell you. Woke up with red eyes. I said, that's no good. So I think God knew that I needed to kind of help you in that area. So I had a peace about it and I was comfortable. And so, yeah, you did your thing too, though. So thank you. Don't shortchange yourself. Thank you. Everybody said they enjoyed it. Yeah.
So, yeah. So again, we're always going to encourage counseling and couples retreat. Anytime you can be around like-minded, married, or people just in relationship who appreciate and value marriage.
Yeah.
We definitely recommend it because everybody needs a support system. So get you one if you don't have one.
Definitely. And 2020 is going to be the year that I get my own therapist. I'm saying it on the mic so you guys can hold me accountable. Been saying it, and I really been putting it off on you to like find one for me, but I know that I got to do that. So 2020 is going to be the year that I have my first therapy session. Because it's necessary, I need that check-in. I need that, and it's been too long. So, yep. Now, we got something coming up next month.
What's coming? Oh, a much needed vacation.
This vacation has been cash flowed. We paid for it already. We paid for it last year, actually. And it is our first cruise.
Yay.
Spring break.
Yes. Which, I didn't think about, spring breakers, but hey, we got it. What made it awesome was we were supposed to go on a cruise last year. The ship wound up having issues.
Yeah.
So they said, hey, if you want to continue with this, nothing's wrong with the ship that it can't continue. So you can either sail with us, but we just, hit this one port and we'll, do a few little sea days and then we'll come back. Or we can give you half your money back and credit you the rest for, a trip to a future destination. And we said, bet.
Give me that money.
Right. Give us the money and we'll put it towards, another vacation. So,
which we had a beautiful vacation that we spoke on. We went to St. Martin.
Yeah, it was nice.
Much
last minute, but considering it was
nice.
Pretty well budgeted too.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we're going to Belize and Honduras this year. We're excited.
And Mexico.
Yeah, Mexico.
Don't say it like that.
I mean, we've been. So I say Belize and Honduras because we haven't been.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, some rest and relaxation. I think we both need it at this point.
Yeah.
January was hectic.
Fruitful but hectic.
Yeah. And February is proving to be the same way.
Yep.
So, we're looking forward to it.
And so if anybody have any tips, for first timers, let us know in the comments on any of our social media platforms. Hit us up. We definitely are willing to listen.
Absolutely. So I see you have big talk on the docket. Is that what you want to talk about next?
Yeah, and more so specifically with us and how it helped us to kind of get over a hurdle. One of the sessions are kind of the theme of our retreat was big talk. And so without going into too much detail about it,
because you have to attend to get that information.
Definitely. But it is a thing in the world, right? And so just making sure that you're being intentional to talk about important issues with your spouse and not just getting into the habit of shooting the breeze or routine.
How was your day?
It was fine. How was yours?
Right. So we want to go from, what is it? What's the term? Not
ashy to classy.
No, the type of questions that you ask. It's like don't give me a one word answer.
Open-ended?
Open-ended, yes.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Ask open-ended questions of one another. Like, if you were to die today, would you, well, you can't say would you be happy, but what would you want people to, or how would you want people to remember you?
Yeah.
And then it doesn't even have to be that deep, about death. It could be, I don't know.
Anything. Yeah.
But going beyond the surface level conversations that we have one another day in and day out is really getting to those deeper communications. And if you do a Google or YouTube search for Big Talk, I believe she has a TED Talk. I don't know the young woman's name, but she speaks on it, and she has a couple of other videos that you can watch. But yeah, that will help at least give you some ideas on how to get started with Big Talk.
Yeah. But like I said, more specifically us, last year we had our own personal Big Talk, because this was kind of, you were wearing thin with your patients, and I was wearing thin with mine, and we just sat down and we had a talk. And that talk revealed some things that exposed some areas that were very raw, but it was freeing at the same time. Yeah, some things that I think both of us were holding in for the sake of sparing the other's feelings. Yeah.
So,
care to share?
No.
Wife don't want to share that.
No.
Just know that it got real.
It did. It got real. Yeah, I was emotionally just not in a good space to handle much of anything. So that did play into our absence on the mic. But once we sat down and we did get real with, okay, this is how I'm feeling. This is why I haven't said anything. But at the end of it, it was like, whew, okay, you're still here. You still want to be in this.
Yeah. And,
our world didn't come tumbling down. So, being married and coming up against trials, it will see what you're made of, and it will test you. And I just love that we persevere and that we make it to the other side every single time.
Yeah.
We're like cats. We just land on our feet.
Yeah, it's a choice. You choose, you choose to, you got to be about this life.
Yeah.
People talk about marriage statistics, but I don't think a lot of people go into marriage realizing the level of commitment that it takes. And you think about it, in today's time, like, people aren't staying on jobs like they used to.
So are we talking about loyalties?
Hey, but and you have these shows like, what's this one show that we watch?
Which one?
The one where the people try to get the blessings from their family.
Oh, family or friends or family or fiance.
Yeah, like, when you're looking at these people that are considering marriage, and you see the problems that they have prior to the marriage, and you see how much they don't know about each other, how much they're hiding from one another. And you're like,
but they say they love each other.
Yeah.
And love is not enough.
No.
Love is not enough, because some of them, you can tell you don't even like that person. You're sitting here talking about you want to spend your life with them, all for the sake of marriage.
Well, they ain't say they want to spend their life. They just say they want to get married.
Well, hey, you're right. That is two separate things. But you're willing to exchange vows and last names and, share money and household and all these other things and kids that come along with being in relationship with one person and you don't even like that person. You don't even know that person. You don't know yourself. You don't know what you want.
Yeah.
And here your family is, they see it.
Yeah.
And it's not just one person, that's just being the voice of dissent or don't want to see you happy. It's not your friends just because they want, to still hang out at the club or whatever. It's like both sides of the family, like, yeah, that's not the move.
Yeah, and I do hold a certain level of accountability to married couples or people who are in committed relationships and who know the level of commitment, trust and respect and all that other good stuff that goes into a healthy relationship. You have to speak about these things to people that you love, because you don't want people with this unrealistic expectation or idea of what it's going to be like. That's one of the main reasons why we have the marital mission, right? We don't want people to enter into this thing with false expectations.
Right.
Because that's dangerous. That's dangerous to everybody, and so if you care about people, you don't want to see them go through the same mistakes that you did.
Right.
So make sure that you're, and I'm not telling you to invite them into your relationship fully, but share some things, give them some wisdom. If you have it to share. If you don't have it to share, then of course, I want you just telling people
what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, gonna wrap it up.
Sure.
With this is, as you opened up with Black History Month, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I know we posted something recently saying that Black love is revolutionary, right?
Well, it didn't say that per se.
Well, the caption said it.
It says, I posted Black love is Black history in the making, because it kind of is. You can't have Black people without Black love.
Definitely.
So Black people make history. And Black love makes Black people.
Correct.
So the caption said, where revolution kind of almost / evolution begins.
Gotcha.
We are the first people.
Gotcha.
Out of Africa.
Well, I'm saying Black love is revolutionary.
Oh, yeah. It is. Black love has always been politicized. It has always been the thing, particularly in this country, where families have been devastated for centuries, whether it was the enslavement of Africans or the crack epidemic, the welfare system.
Yeah.
We have all these things that separate Black men from Black women. Incarceration.
Yep. Mass incarceration. The prison to pipeline, or the school to prison pipeline. Yeah.
We have all these systems that come into play in the dynamics of Black love. So the fact that two people come together and they happen to share the same skin type.
Not happen to have, it's a choice.
It is a choice.
I think a lot of people look at love as if it's something that you catch like a cold.
And can we say this disclaimer? When I don't understand. I'll say this. Love is love. You can love who you want to love. Definitely. So please don't take offense. And I don't understand the offense behind the mere mention of Black love. If you are in a relationship or if you are married to someone of another race, by all means, we wish you well. We wish your family well. We hope that your marriage prospers, and we, pray for your success.
No doubt. And hopefully the information that we give and the things that we speak on is able to help and bless your relationship as well.
Absolutely. Because the information is for anybody. But in this particular sense, I think that because of those systems that we mentioned before, it is important to highlight that Black love is out here. It is thriving. And unfortunately, it is political and it is a revolutionary act given those things that we mentioned that Black love actually faces. So just the mere coming together of Black people and choosing to stay in it is revolutionary, unfortunately, because you don't see that with, everybody's trying to do them. Nobody wants to, or they don't seem willing to work it out. Everybody's just in it for self-care and self-preservation and, making sure that they're good and they don't have to put up with this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, yeah, you may be in for a world of hurt. But for those who get it, who realize that it takes work, takes dedication. I mean, it's literally two people coming together who may not have the same backgrounds. And you're trying to figure this thing out together.
Yeah.
So you're going to have some issues. You're going to have issues with your family.
Yeah.
So
you have issues with yourself.
Yes.
So, but I guess kind of to finish my thought, love isn't something you catch. Love is something that it's a choice. And of course, early stages of love, there's a certain chemical reaction that you're drawn to certain people. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. And you're fooling yourself if you believe that you have no responsibility, no accountability, or that it doesn't fall on you. It's not like you just walk through the street and you see somebody, you're so enamored with that person that you have to be with them.
Unless you're that crazy guy on that Netflix show called You. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not that.
But so I think, and the reason why I'm saying this is that's pushback that I hear a lot of times when you talk about Black love, you talk about, how revolutionary Black love is because, it is a choice. And I knew that I wanted to marry, and we spoke about this before, but I knew I wanted to marry a Black woman specifically. And now everybody who is married to another Black person, and if they're Black, that's not necessarily a decision that, hey, so we're talking about Black love that is intentional, Black love that is uplifting, Black love that is representative of the culture and preserving the culture and preserving what our forefathers has established in this country. Right. And so we hope to continue that. We hope that our space, our voice that we have created, give you guys pride and a sense of belonging, because there are so many spaces where we don't feel comfortable. We don't feel represented. Mm-hmm. And so it's important to us that we give you that.
Right.
Because it's something that we didn't have, or we felt we didn't have. Mm-hmm. So shout out to everybody who rock with us, whether you're Black, white, or any other identification that you may hold for yourself. We love you. We care about you. We care about marriage, because when we have healthy, happy marriages out here, is better for the world.
Absolutely.
And it's about the kids too. Mm-hmm. The more healthy, happy relationships the kids get to see, then they can see themselves in it, and they know what to accept, what not to accept.
And they know what's possible.
Exactly. So, share that love, share that kiss, share that affection in front of your kids, in front of your nieces and nephews, and just in general, just, love on each other. Don't sacrifice your relationship, for trying to be PC in front of whoever, grandma, grandpa.
That's a conversation for another day.
And we're going to have it. So it felt good to kind of shake off these cobwebs.
Yeah.
To be able to speak to you guys. We're in these streets. I know a lot of you guys have, asked when we were going to record again. So here you go. And I think we can sign off, right?
Sounds good to me. So, we ready for the prayer?
Let's go.
All right.
Father God, we come here right now thanking you for this opportunity to speak, to hear, to breathe, to love, to laugh. And if this moment is not granted to us one more day, we thank you for all that has been. And Lord, we thank you for all that will be. Pray these and other blessings in your son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. See you next episode, guys.
Peace.